Here we are looking at number 6 on page 38 under set and drift. Question says at 0726 you depart Lake Montauk with light number 1 close aboard and set a course of 310.5 per standard magnetic compass at 5.9 knots. 1 hour later, your position is latitude 41.8.1 north by longitude 72 degrees, 3.7 minutes west. What is the current? Okay, they really want to know what is the set and the drift. That's just another way of saying what is the direction of the current. So as we have done in all the other problems, let's start by writing a few keywords like true. Why true? To remind ourselves to take the heading that they gave us, 310.5, and turn it into a true heading. I like to write the word DR to determine where I should be given the time that I'm out there. And I like to write EP, ending position, so I remember that I should plot the ending position toward the end so I can determine where I should be versus where I actually ended up. So true. So if I'm on a course of 310 degrees, 310.5 to be more precise, okay, I'm working from compass to true. So I've got T, V, M, D, C, okay. So the going up, what do I have to do with those errors? I have to subtract a westerly error. I have to add an easterly error. So I've always put a note to remind myself that when I'm going from compass to true, I subtract west, add east. So now I'm going to determine the deviation for 310. Somewhere closer to, I don't know, got 0, got 1.5, 310 sort of in the middle. I don't love that one. Say the truth, I'll call it, I don't know, I think that they used, I don't know what they used to say the truth. I'm going to say they used I don't know. I'm going to use 1, okay, because that's somewhere in between, okay. Really, 0.75 might be a better number to use, but I'm going to use 1 degree east. All right, should get us close enough. So east I add, so that's going to be 311.5, and then I've got to subtract 15 degrees west, right, because a westerly error we add. Now I'm just going to use my calculator. I'm going to say 311.5 minus 15 should give me 296.5. Okay, 296.5. Okay, so I'll probably call that 296 because you'd be hard pressed to be that accurate with your parallel rules. So anyway, let's take a look at that. We've got 296.5, so that's my true. Okay, the DR, we've got to determine where I would be in the time I was out there, so that's 5.9 miles. Okay, that's my DR. And my ending position is this latitude and longitude at the end, so it's 41 degrees, 08.1 north by 72 degrees, 03.7 west. So that's where I ended up. So now that we know that, we can plot it on the chart. So we're starting at Lake Montauk with buoy number 1 close aboard. So I'm going to find Lake Montauk, buoy number 1. Okay, here's Lake Montauk. You can see right here the buoy with the number 1 in parentheses. So I'm going to say we're right there, and we're heading on a course of 296 per standard magnetic compass. So I got to find 296. Not that easy to do on this compass, especially. I'm going to come back over here to the compass on the other side of the chart, only because I can see it a whole lot easier. Hope you guys can see me. I kind of set the tripod so I would be on the other side of the chart, but here we are. So here's 296. I'm going to try to be as accurate as I can be. Okay, so I'm on my 296. I'm going to set my parallel rules against it. All right, I am on 296. Okay, now I'm going to walk that over to my starting point. Hopefully you can see me. My head is hopefully not in the way. There's number 1, close aboard. Okay, I feel like I'm good. So I'm going to draw that line. Okay, so that is 296. Okay, and drawing a line, 296. Now I've got to mark my DR where I would be given the time that I was out there. So I'm going 5.9 knots for 1 hour. So I'm going to find 5.9. Okay, should be easy to do. 5.9 is right there. Okay, always double check yourself. Yep, there's 5, there's 0.9. Okay, take your time, go slowly. All right, start at your starting point, mark your DR. So that's where I should be given 1 hour. Sometimes I like to draw with my, so I have a nice crisp hash mark. Okay, kind of if I make a little scribble there, the difference from one side of my scribble to the other can be the difference between the right answer and the wrong answer. So if you draw a nice crisp line, a hash mark, okay, then it's right exactly at that intersection is where you're going to be plotting to. So that's my DR, that's where I should be given the time I traveled, okay, from my starting point in that constant direction. So now I got to plot the ending position. So 4108, 41 degrees, 08.1 minutes north by 72 degrees, 03.7. So here's 72, 01, 02, 03.7. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3.7. I'll make a little mark over here just so I can find it quickly. Okay, by 4108.1. So here's 05, 06, 07, 08.1. Maybe I'll make a little mark right there. Okay, and now I've just got to bring those together. So by making a little mark, it just kind of helps me so I know where to draw the lines. You know, I can look here, and rather than drawing a really big line, I can just look and estimate and do it very quickly. So here I am. I'm going to come down. I'm going to draw this line. Okay. And again, that was double checking 48.1. Okay, or 41 degrees, 8.1. So I'm just going to double check. I like that mark, 48 or 08.1. And I'm going to estimate that that line needs to be right in that ballpark. Now I'm going to do, I like to sometimes, depending on where these are, sometimes I'll use the dividers with the pencil, sometimes I'll use the ruler, sometimes I'll use a combination of both. There's no right or wrong, whatever works best or easiest or fastest for you. Okay, again I'm looking for 0.2. Double check myself. No, 0.1. Alright, so I don't do this carefully, I could be off. So here's my mark. And you can see the advantage of using one with a pencil for some things. Okay, so here's my DR, that's where I should be. And here's where I actually ended up. So again, the current is setting me in that direction. It's setting me a little bit to the north, northwest of my intended course. So they want to know specifically what that direction is. I'm going to use the compass up here because if I set this up nicely, I'm almost at that compass rose anyway, so I don't have to walk it very far. So I'm just going to set the edge of my parallel rule on those 2 points, okay, as accurately as I can, and then I'm going to move to my hash mark, and I'm going to read the number on the side of the compass rose, on the outer compass rose, because that's true degrees, in the direction that the current is setting me. So again, I should be on the line, but I'm being set to the northwest of my intended course. So that guy there looks like 330, 335. Gosh, that's so hard to see. This chart is so small. I'm going to say that's 339. I'm guessing. I can't see it. It's so small. But I'm going to say 339. Okay, it could be 338, somewhere in that ballpark, but somewhere around 339. Okay, and let's determine what the speed of the current is. Okay, so the speed is the distance. Okay, the distance that I traveled off my intended course in the time that I was out there. So the distance divided by the time, in this case it was 1 hour. Okay, so I got 0.9. Okay, so 0.9 divided by 1 would be 0.9. So I've got 339 degrees at 0.9 knots. So let's see, this is problem number 6, I think. This is, yeah, number 6. Okay, number 6. So let's see, do I have a choice close to that? I've got 337. Okay, I'm only off by 2 degrees, and I'm off by 3/10 of a knot. So that's clearly the correct answer. Should be C. Okay, should be C. So number 6 should be C. I'm still off by 2 degrees. I'm off by 3/10 on the distance. Not enough to matter. I'm still so much closer to this answer than I am to any other answer on there. So always choose your answer based on the set direction of the current.